This year's Open venue is Royal Troon, which is hosting the championship for a 9th time. Troon's first Open in 1923 was dominated by a man who didn't even play. Back then, every player had to pre-qualify, and Gene Sarazen, the pre-tournament favourite and US Open champion, failed in trying Scottish conditions and didn't make the field. England's Arthur Havers secured a one-shot victory over Walter Hagen and remains the only Briton to win at Troon. Four-time champion Bobby Locke won his second claret jug at Troon when the Open returned there in 1950. The man who coined the phrase drive for show, putt for dough, the South African overcame a two-shot final round deficit, thanks in no small part to his unusual but extremely effective putting technique. The first Open shown on US television, the 1962 championship, was Arnold Palmer's year. Defending the title he'd won at Birkdale 12 months before, Palmer took the lead during Friday's second round and never looked back. He stormed to a 6-stroke victory over Kel Nagel, set a new scoring record and delighted his army of followers. Testing conditions faced the competitors and fans alike in 1973, when Americans dominated the leaderboard. Jack Nicklaus was frustrated in his search for a third claret jug. The championship came down to a duel between Johnny Miller and Tom Weiskopf. Weiskopf had taken the lead on day one and completed a wire-to-wire win for what would prove to be his only major victory.
To win my first major championship in the country where golf started is something that you can't explain. It's the most inspirational place I've ever played golf. I'm very proud to be your champion. Thank you.
Weiskopf wasn't the only American honoured that week. 50 years on from his failure to qualify in 1923, Gene Sarazen played his final Open championship. And he bowed out in fitting fashion with one of the most iconic moments in the history of the championship, a hole-in-one at Troon's famous 8th, the postage stamp. "1982 was an Open remembered as much for the failure of others as for its eventual champion. American Bobby Clampett shot 67-66 to lead by 5 at the halfway stage before falling foul of Troon's bunkers and finishing in a tie for 10th. 25-year-old Zimbabwean Nick Price also had his chance. Too clear with 6 to play, he stumbled on Troon's closing holes to finish one back. And that left Tom Watson to celebrate his 4th Open and 6th major title. Scoring on Troon's front 9 is imperative, and 1989's final day saw Greg Norman do just that. Starting the day 7 back, he went out in 31 and carded an 8-under course record 64 to force a playoff with third-round leader Wayne Grady and Mark Calcavecchia, who had his own huge slice of fortune on his way to a closing 68. By the time the three men reached the 18th, during the first 4-hole playoff seen in an Open, it was between Norman and Calcavecchia. And when Norman drove into a fairway bunker and failed to make par, the American sealed victory with a birdie. All eyes were on 21-year-old Masters champion Tiger Woods in 1997, and although Tiger didn't challenge for the title, he did equal Greg Norman's course record to give his fans a taste of things to come. Instead, it was another American who emerged from the third-round pack. Justin Leonard shot a final day 65 to secure his only major title to date and leave Jesper Parnevik ruining missed chances in an Open for the second time in 4 years. Todd Hamilton was the unlikely name etched onto the claret jug the last time the Open visited Troon, after he held off the challenge of then world number 2, Ernie Els. The South African missed a putt on the 72nd hole before a playoff which saw Hamilton become the 6th consecutive American to win at Troon. A venue which has hosted some memorable and tight Open Championships over the years, Royal Troon is sure to provide another 4 days of drama come July.